You're scrolling again. Another late night another perfectly curated life, another impossible smile, another gut punch of not enough. It's a familiar hell, isn't it? That gnawing emptiness, that insidious voice whispering you'll never measure up. Jung called it the shadow, the unacknowledged parts of ourselves we project onto others, twisting their success into our own damnation. Icarus flew too close to the sun, didn't he? His ambition, his hubris, a mirror to our own relentless self-comparison, a relentless striving for an unattainable ideal. That's the persona, the mask we wear to the world, feeding the beast of envy, the projection of our deepest insecurities. But what if that envy is just your shadow screaming for integration? What if your worth isn't tied to that never-ending scroll? We'll uncover the alchemy of self-acceptance. Together, we'll forge a new path. Stay with me. The hum of the refrigerator, 3 a.m., another night swallowed by the endless scroll. Another curated life, another perfectly sculpted physique, another gut punch of inadequacy. It's not just the envy, is it? It's deeper than that. It's the gnawing, persistent feeling of not enough. Like a pebble in a shoe, it chafes, it irritates, it steals your peace. You know it's irrational, you know it's poison, but you can't seem to shake it. This feeling, this crushing weight of not enough, isn't about them. It's about you. It's the shadow self Jung talked about, the dark, unacknowledged parts we refuse to confront, projecting our insecurities onto others. We see their achievements, their effortless grace, and we twist it, turning their victories into a relentless indictment of our own perceived failures. It's a twisted mirror, reflecting back not their reality, but the hidden anxieties brewing within our own souls. Think about it. That sharp pang of jealousy, that's your shadow screaming to be seen. The envy itself, it's not a measure of their success. It's a brutal, honest confession of your own unspoken desires, buried deep beneath a carefully constructed facade. A 68-year-old retired accountant in Omaha, scrolling through images of younger men, perfectly tanned on Italian beaches, feels that same pang, that same agonizing inadequacy. A young architect in Seattle comparing himself to the award-winning designs of a peer. They're different men, different ages, different dreams, but the same insidious poison courses through them. The serpent of comparison coils tighter. It whispers, "You're not good enough, never will be." This is not about external validation. This is about an internal battle, a fight against the self you refuse to acknowledge. And that's the terrifying truth, isn't it? It's not their success that hurts. It's our own unspoken failures staring back at us, disguised as their perfection. It's the silent scream of our own unfulfilled potential disguised as envy. It's a projection, a shadow play orchestrated by the very parts of ourselves we've locked away, the parts we fear. The parts that make us human. We build these elaborate personas, masks of success and confidence, but underneath, the shadow lurks, hungry for recognition, hungry to be integrated. The persona, so carefully constructed, is a prison of our own making. And the key, it lies within the very shadow we fear the most. The key is self-acceptance, a frightening thought, I know, but also incredibly liberating. That gnawing emptiness, it's not just envy, is it? It's something deeper, a primal fear of inadequacy, a profound sense of being incomplete. Think of Icarus soaring too close to the sun. His ambition, his dazzling flight, was ultimately his undoing. His story isn't about hubris alone. It's a parable about the dangers of chasing an unattainable ideal, a perfect image, a flawless life, one only ever found in reflection, never reality. We, like Icarus, are often consumed by our own projections, the persona, as Jung called it, the carefully crafted mask we present to the world to hide the anxieties within. That mask, that persona, it feeds the beast of comparison. We see others' success, their effortless achievements, and we mistake it for a reflection of our own deficiency, failing to acknowledge the curated reality behind the carefully crafted facade. It's like a funhouse mirror, distorting our perception until we see only the flaws we project, and that distortion fuels the cycle of self-doubt and relentless striving. Take Arthur, a 72-year-old retired architect in Boise, Idaho. He spends hours scrolling through Instagram, admiring the sleek minimalist homes designed by younger architects. The envy isn't solely professional, it's woven into a deeper self-assessment, a fear that his life's work, his decades of experience, somehow fall short of the fleeting trends in the digital sphere. His shadow self, the hidden anxieties he suppresses, manifests in the insidious comparison, twisting the achievements of others into an unbearable indictment of his own perceived inadequacies. He sees the young designer's success, yet he fails to acknowledge their calculated staging and targeted advertising, the very mechanisms that manufacture such enviable facades in the first place. That's the cruel irony of the persona. It promises validation, yet it leaves you profoundly alone, adrift in a sea of false comparisons. Arthur's perceived shortcomings aren't about his achievements, but about his inability to reconcile the curated images he consumes with the reality of his own well-lived life. The shadow isn't something to be feared. It's a part of you that needs integration, a reconciliation with the parts of yourself you deem unworthy. This relentless internal struggle is not a sign of failure, but a symptom of a deeper yearning for self-acceptance, for a recognition of your inherent worth, regardless of external validation. It's the beginning of a journey, not the end of the road. The path to self-acceptance isn't paved with outward achievements, but with inward exploration, a willingness to confront the shadows we so diligently project. And that, my friend, is where the true alchemy begins. That hollow ache, it's not just a fleeting feeling, is it? It's a constant companion, a shadow clinging to your heels. You see their success, the promotion, the relationship, the effortless charisma, and it feels like a personal affront, a cruel joke played on your perceived inadequacy. But here's the unsettling truth: it's not about them. It's a reflection, a warped mirror image of your own unacknowledged desires, your own hidden insecurities. Jung called it projection, a defense mechanism where we unconsciously attribute our own unacceptable feelings, traits, or impulses onto others. We see our own darkness in them, and the more we try to suppress it within ourselves, the louder it screams from their supposed perfection. Think of Arthur, a 68-year-old retired engineer from Seattle. He spent decades building bridges, literal ones, concrete and steel. But the bridges in his own life, those remained fractured. He envied his younger neighbor's seemingly effortless charm, the way he connected with people, effortlessly drawing laughter and camaraderie. Arthur saw in him what he felt he lacked, a natural ease, a confidence that had eluded him. He wasn't simply envious of the neighbor's social skills. He was projecting his own deep-seated fear of loneliness, his own suppressed yearning for connection. He was seeing his unintegrated shadow self in his neighbor's happiness, turning that success into a painful reminder of his perceived deficiencies. This isn't about rationalizing envy, it's about understanding its root cause. It's like looking into a funhouse mirror. What you see isn't a true reflection, it's a distorted caricature, exaggerated and warped by your own inner landscape. And the more you struggle against that image, the more you intensify the distortion. The envy isn't the problem, it's a symptom, a desperate cry from the parts of you that you refuse to acknowledge. Your shadow, in Jungian terms, is not evil. It's simply the unexplored, the unintegrated aspects of your psyche, the parts you've buried deep under the weight of societal expectations, self-criticism, and the relentless pursuit of an impossible ideal. This not enough feeling, it's a profound sense of incompleteness, a yearning for wholeness. It's the shadow struggling to be seen, to be integrated into the conscious self. It's a call to confront the darkness within, to reconcile the dissonance between your persona, the mask you wear to the world, and your authentic self. To truly break free from the cycle of comparison, you must begin to explore that darkness, the very things that make you feel less than. That's where the true power lies, not in suppressing it, but in understanding and integrating it. Only then can you begin to build those bridges within yourself, those bridges to self-acceptance and true inner peace. That hollow ache, it's a relentless undercurrent, isn't it? A low hum of dissatisfaction that vibrates beneath the surface of your daily life. You might chase success, promotions, accolades, a perfect physique, but that emptiness persists. It's like trying to fill a bottomless pit with sand. The more you strive, the more you realize that the problem isn't a lack of achievement. It's a lack of integration. Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming a whole, unified self. It's the art of bringing your shadow self, those parts you keep hidden, those insecurities that drive your relentless self-comparison, into the light. Think of it as an alchemical process, a transformation, not a mere acquisition of things. It's about the slow, painstaking work of bridging the chasm between who you are and who you believe you should be. Consider Arthur, a retired history professor from Savannah, Georgia at 68. He spent his life striving for academic perfection, a tenured position, prestigious publications, the respect of his peers. He achieved all of it, yet felt profoundly empty. His relentless pursuit of external validation, that yearning to be seen as successful, was just a desperate attempt to outrun a deeper fear, the fear of being simply himself. the fear of his own imperfections. He projected that fear onto others, envying their apparent ease, their lack of self-doubt, and twisting their lives into a reflection of his own hidden anxieties. And it was agonizing to watch him fall. The mechanism here is projection. It's not simply envy, it's a defense mechanism. We project our unacceptable aspects, our fears, insecurities, and unmet desires onto others. We create these phantom adversaries, these shadowy doppelgangers who stand in for what we refuse to confront within ourselves. Their success, their happiness, it's not their success itself, my friend, but our reflection in it. It's our buried shame shining back at us. We see in them not what they actually are, but the missing pieces we desperately crave. This isn't about them succeeding, it's about us failing to accept that we're not them. It's about refusing to see our own worth separate from external validation. That's the crux of the problem. Our perception is warped by the shadow, our own self-created distortions of reality. Imagine that this need to compare oneself constantly, that crushing weight of not being enough, is actually a signal, a message from your shadow self craving integration. It's not a problem to be solved, it's a puzzle to be unraveled. A door to be opened, revealing a path to something far more profound than external success, a path to self-acceptance. What would that life look like? What would it feel like to embrace your own imperfections, your unique, messy, imperfect self, without the burden of constant comparison? What if you could let go of that illusion of perfection, that chimera, and focus on forging your own path? You'll be surprised. So what now? You've stared into the abyss, seen the shadow lurking in the corners of your own soul, the envy, the self-doubt, the gnawing not enough. And it's unsettling. It should be, it's a confrontation with the truth. But here's the thing, you're not broken. You were never broken. You were simply misled. Misled by a culture that profits from your insecurity, from your constant striving for an unattainable ideal. A culture that's meticulously crafted a mirage of perfection, an endless scroll of curated lives designed to keep you perpetually chasing something just out of reach. It's a cruel joke, this relentless comparison, this endless cycle of self-flagellation. It wasn't just wrong, it was backward. Think of it as a distorted map, leading you away from your own unique potential, your own inherent worth. A map designed to keep you lost, endlessly wandering in a desert of self-doubt. But you're not lost. You found your way here, you've begun to see through the illusion. This isn't about erasing the shadow. It's about integrating it, about acknowledging those darker aspects, the insecurities, the fears, without letting them dictate your life. About finding the strength, the quiet power within the very places you once felt weakness. It's about recognizing that your value isn't determined by external validation, but by the depth of your inner world, the richness of your unique experience. It's about embracing the messy, flawed, beautiful reality of your own existence. It's about choosing differently. You can keep scrolling, keep chasing the mirage, remain tethered to the endless cycle of comparison. You can let the whispers of self-doubt dictate your path. You can succumb to that hollow ache, let it consume you, or you can choose to rewrite the map. You can create a new narrative, one based not on what others say or how others appear, but on your own intrinsic worth, on your unique capacity for growth, on your own power. A path that speaks to your soul, to your essence, not to their curated feeds. The choice is yours, and the quiet knowing that comes from that choice, that's where the real power resides, that hollow ache. It becomes the fuel for your fire, the energy that propels you toward a life lived on your own terms, on your own time, a life untainted by the toxic shadows of comparison. It's the echo of the pain transformed into the roar of your own awakening.